Hello everybody on the internet watching, and welcome to the second game of week 4 of the Totally Normal Football League. It's an over here division matchup between the Michigan Hellcats and the Hamilton Rollers. Both teams only came into existence at the beginning of season 2, and now that they've had time to grow and settle in, it's time for the Hellcats' first division matchup game. They've spent the first 3 weeks out and about in the over there division, and now it's finally time for them to attempt to put a win in their division win-loss column, which is really important for tiebreakers here in the TNFL. Number 44, that's Sid Mander, jumped over, he lost the ball, and immediately it's dove upon by Nelson Codmore, and the Rollers start out with a terrible misplay. They lost the opening coin flip, and now the Hellcats are at their 20-yard line with Alex Fops in the shotgun. I don't even have time to set up what I was gonna say. Throw to the open man. That's Grunge, the tight end. The Rollers going into this game 0-3, just things not going their way for one reason or another. They lost a nail-biter in week 1 against the Beefers, and since then they just have not been able to get anything rolling, pun intended, with their last week's matchup being a smushing at the hands of the Gators as Ace Ducey gets it past the 10-yard line for a first down. And yeah, the big story right now for the Hellcats is Ace Ducey, 8.9 yards per carry average, and was a nice tip away from, that was Emmett Bonkright guarding Jeremy B. Now, Emmett Bonkright has the size advantage of Jeremy B, but he doesn't have the speed advantage, so that'll be an interesting matchup to see develop as the game unfolds. Second down for the Hellcats at the 8. And Ace Ducey off tackle, picks up a good block, and Ducey stopped at the 1. Trying to make up third goal from the 1-yard line. Fops in the shotgun, a 4 wide receivers set, attempting to split the defense. He'll get a corner route, and it's rookie Robin Banks picks up the early touchdown as him and Gabriel Menace do a secret handshake, and the Rollers aren't really liking what they're seeing already. The muffed kick return from Sid Manderjunkt that was touched down by Nelson Codmore, and now the passing touchdown from Alex Fops is going to put the Rollers down 7 here, with the Ben Cowjet kicking the extra point. Now we'll hopefully see the Rollers offense out on the field. Manderjunkt, I assume, got a stern talking to from the sideline. Manderjunkt receives the kick at the 1. He does have Rollers in front. He picks up some good blocks, and he'll get it past the 25. The speedy Ryan tapped down, tackling him from behind. That was actually great blocks from the Rollers special teams. And now the Rollers will be able to do what they do. Season 2 MVP Booker Trayton Jr., the quarterback for this team, as he gets tries to get a draw play to Walter Kiteflyer, but he runs right into Ryan Tapdown, and that might be a loss of 1. The Rollers went to the Normal Bowl last season, but if you can remember, their Season 2 didn't start out peachy clean. And some say this season is currently mirroring how their second season worked out. Kiteflyer receives the handoff to the 30. Good yardage there. Walter Kiteflyer, running back number 1 in this setup. He made a name for himself as an absolute ballistic missile of a linebacker, but he is currently replacing Garrett Rinser tries to get it to August half price, but he's covered up. And it's knocked incomplete, so that'll be a 4th down for the Rollers. Edward Fogo punts it. And he'll get it past the 35. So Alex Fopp's hoping to leverage the amazing luck they've been given here early in the first to keep the onslaught coming. With the Gators losing against the Janitors earlier tonight, as Ace Juicy gets it past the 40. With the Gators taking a loss, the Hellcats have a chance to take the top of the division with a victory against the Rollers. Pops dropping back to pass. Tries to get it over the linebacker, Bud Beaglesworth. Who moonshines as a quarterback sometimes, I've been told. He was also excellent on defense there, swapping away that pass, bringing up a 3rd and 6. The Hellcats at their 41-yard line. Fops in the shotgun with 2 backs beside him. So it's a 3 wide receiver shotgun set. Fops, lots of time, throws it, wheel route to number 34, that's Aiden Spears. And he'll get it into enemy territory and then some, almost to the 30-yard line of the Rollers. And nobody was on that wheel route. 3 for 5 is Alex Fops. Fops stepping back. Throws it deep to Ahmad Card's grave, but man, that ball is way overthrown. Hellcats at the Rollers 32. On 2nd down and 10 yards to go. They'll hand it off to Ace Juicy, who has a gigantic... Oh my god, how can you stop him? That's 9 yards. How do you stop him? He gets the big gap thanks to the offensive line. And this man just shakes 2 tackles every time he holds the ball. The 8.9 average is something I'm going to go ruin my throat repeating over and over again. Just an inch away from getting a 1st down. It's going to be 3rd and inches as Fops looks to throw to the end zone to Jeremy B. Touchdown. Oh no, he's out of bounds. 4th down. A right toe touching the line, and that's no good. And Fops almost getting another 7 points on the board, but they'll get Ben Cowjet up to kick a 40-yarder. And this one's good. Now, I would say normally Ben Cowjet is one of the few flawless kickers we have in the league, but he finally missed one against the Janitors last game. Or I should say last week. But nonetheless, that hasn't tarnished his reputation as being the best kicker in the league in terms of scalability, and just like this man could kick 57-yarders, something that no other kicker in the league can really do outside of maybe Kyle Borger, who is the kicker for the Rollers, funnily enough. Is Mander jumped, is swallowed at the 20-yard line. Oh, is my microphone going to shit? Uh-oh. How bad is it, folks? Walter Kite Flyer, 9-yard draw play, or 5-yard draw play, sorry. Please keep me updated in chat on any audio. One of my biggest pet peeves is something like audio being off and nobody telling me about it. And Walter Kite Flyer gets the 1st down. He'll get it to the 35. You think it's better now? Interesting. Wasn't sure if it was a net or something else. Okay. Well, please let me know if something happens there. Oh, man, that's Garrett Rinser with excuse me, pardon me. A nice 6-yard run. Might have been a muxing issue with the stream encoding. Interesting. That's no good. Got Rinser up the middle. This will be good for a first down. And the Rollers are looking good here with their running game. This is something they've been struggling to establish the past couple weeks when they've been trying to lean heavily on Walter Kite Flyer, but they are getting first downs and then some, not only with Kite Flyer, but Garrett Rinser as well, and now their fullback heading in on the action for 5 yards. That's Slick Quiglet. And now there's no sound at all. That might be just you. I see levels on here. Don't worry. See? Hi, welcome to week 4, where I spend the entire game being paranoid over audio settings. Kite Flyer back in at running back 1. And Kite Flyer receives a slow handoff, and Dante Landros is going to be all over that as we end the first quarter with the Hellcats with an early lead, 10-0, thanks to a muffed kick return of Sid Manderjunkt, really opening things up, and the Hellcats driving down the field for another field goal. Miles Gundark, big Miles Gundark on the out route. Gets a key reception as Twitch is apparently eating itself to death. Bear with me here, folks, and if the stream is indeed unwatchable, don't worry. VODs are uploaded as soon as I'm able to get off my butt to do so. Well, it's a Kite Flyer trying to get off tackle, but again, just the Dante Landros' ability to shake blocks and stop the run is just so good. As the Rollers seem to be stopped at the 45-yard line. 2nd and 10. They get it to Piloni past the 40. He shakes a tackle, but he runs straight into Kevin Garbo, man. From Kyler Borish to Kevin Garbo. There's the sizzle, there's the stakes. 3rd and 2 now for Booker Trayton Jr. Draw play for Kite Flyer, and he'll get through for a first down. And this is the best drive from the Rollers we've seen in quite some time. They're really motoring here against this front 7 of the Hellcats. And honestly, it's just incredibly refreshing after the Gators-Janitors game we had going on earlier tonight, which was a 4th down fest. Booker Trayton Jr., another Walter Kite Flyer draw play will go for 5 yards. This one going to the 30-yard line of the Hellcats. Second and 5. Garrett Rinser will fall forward for at least salvaging that run, but DeMarcus Bacon, man, it's Dante Landros and DeMarcus Bacon doing their best to stop the run here, but if the Rollers can establish a good block and get a seam going, they're just out of there. And Garrett Rinser, they try to get it further, leaning on their running game, but well spotted by the Hellcats, and they are learning the ins and outs of the offensive line of the Rollers, and they're starting to infiltrate much better now. But we'll see how the Rollers' ability to run the ball will be affected later in the game. A 48-yarder for Kyle Borger. And this one's good. Again, both of these teams have the 2 best kickers in the league as far as I'm concerned. So I don't think we'll see many misses here today. And of course, this will be an excellent soundbite to clip later in the game when it comes down to a missed field goal. But the Rollers bring the deficit back down to 7. The Hellcats still leading 10-3. If it wasn't for that mishap to start the game, it'd be tied at 3-all. But the Rollers show really good promise with their running game on that drive. Not only that, but they also eat up a lot of possession time As Ben Sports gets to the 20, he gets to the 30 before being tackled down. Bentley Roughhouse able to shake his block and bring down the returner. Ace Ducey, the lone back. Tamar okay, set in motion. Two tight end set. And Ace Ducey will go off tackle and he'll get, they'll say 3 yards. I was about to say 4, but I'm not actually sure where the refs are going to spot his knee. It will be 3 yards. Ace Ducey off tackle. Great converging there by the 2 linebackers. That's Braden Craig, and Reno Pearson spotting the handoff well. And honestly, if they were going to go do that, and that was a play action, that might have been one of the nastiest play actions of all time. The middle would have been wide open, but Fops now standing in the shotgun for this 3rd and 5 try. The Hellcats at their own 36-yard line. It's a draw to Ace Ducey for a first down to the 45. That was one of the best draw plays on 3rd down I think I've ever seen. Ducey was able to ram through the middle, and he's 34 yards on 7 carries. So not quite 8.9, but can't ask too much of him. Roy Burley now in to replace him. But Fopp stepping back. He'll throw a quick one, and look at this! Ahmad Cardsgrave was like a little blocker for rookie Robin Banks. Robin the rookie, if you will. That'll be a first down catch. Again, refreshing offense here. Oh, man. Football. Alex Fops in the shotgun. Throwing it to Robin Banks, but it's Carter Amen Brake who tips it away. That could have been a scary reception. But great work from Amen Brake. Fops once again in the shotgun. Roy Burley by his side. 4 wide receivers set. Pancakes all around. What? Okay, there he goes. Like Drew Badford was like waiting there. Waiting for a hug. And it wasn't until Alex Fops got a little bit nearer for his AI to go attack him. So that was a little funny. We get a sack. A big 4-yard sack as the Hellcats are pushed back to the Rollers 45. Fops once again standing in the shotgun. Lots of time. I thought that Brandon Legstrong would have got caught up on the defenders, but he found a way through, and that's a back-to-back sack for the defensive line of the Rollers. And they are now pushed to their side of the field, well out of Ben Cowjet range. So it's going to be a Richard stretch pull out to punt. And great defense from the Rollers. And so we are inside of 2 minutes. So the Hellcats are trying to soak up as much time as possible by holding on to the punt. And it goes into the end zone for a touchback. So the Rollers will have just over a minute left in the half. Starting from their own 20-yard line to get something happening. And Booker Trayton Jr. in the shotgun beside Walter Kite Flyer. Going it deep. It's a quick slant to Pyloni to the 29. No huddle offense. Everybody shuffling in. If they snap it, they'll get Toby Wrightyson. I think he was on his side of the ball, though. Get it over. It's tipped away. No penalty on Wrightyson. But if the Rollers were just half a second quicker, they might have gotten a free 5 yards off that play. 3rd and 1 for the Rollers. 57 seconds paused on the clock after the incomplete pass. Looks like they're going to hand it off to Kite Flyer to get the 1 yard they need. Nope, Booker's going to throw it. And he's got the open man on the comeback. It's Piloti to the 45. Timeout, Rollers. Their first of 3. This is just a great game of football, honestly, folks, between these two teams. Trayton Jr. in the shotgun, no tight end, 4 wide receiver sets. Over the middle, gets at the big gun dark to the Hellcats side of the field. And that's a second timeout used to pause the clock with 48 seconds remaining. This is great offense from the Rollers. 5 for 7 is Booker. And he'll continue his passing onslaught from the shotgun. In a little bit of trouble, but he'll get it to Piloti past the 15. Piloti is the MVP of this drive as far as I'm concerned. That's his 3rd reception, his 3rd key reception even. As Booker maintains the passing onslaught from the shotgun. It's a quick snap. Gets the free drag route to half price. He tries to shake a tackle, but meets Trevor Twirlywhirl at the 6. No huddle. Booker's just in motion. He'll look for somebody open. He gets open. Piloti was wide open. Touchdown Rollers. And they are not playing like an 0-3 team, folks. This was one of the best drives I think I've seen in a long time, just in terms of just getting it done and just good, smart passes. There wasn't any throw out of bounds bullshit or tipped away passes that should have been intercepted. This was just football as God intended. And the Rollers are looking to tie things up here at Hamilton. Borger kicking it through. My brain just shut off there, pardon me. Yeah, that was just all passing, and Booker Trayton Jr. playing like an MVP. Something that was sorely missed in the past 2 games when Booker was trying to hack it to the quarterback again. But, you know, the Rollers look like their Season 2 selves out there. Well, their Season 2 selves would do nothing but throw it deep to Booker, but that's neither here nor there. Ben Sports on the goal line to return this. He'll go up the middle, but oh my god, we got blocks. Oh, okay, to the 35, ball is loose, Rollers possess. I didn't see who fell on it or forced the fumble. Let's actually get to the shitty pause menu here. What in the world is this camera? So we got Ben Sports. Runs it up the middle. And it is 54. That is Jacob way over forcing the fumble. But they're reviewing the fumble, actually. Was Ben's... Oh, that's down. That's down by contact. That's not a fumble, folks. And Jacob way over and Iggy freeze tag combining their forces together to try and wrench the ball free. But this is clearly down by contact to my eyes. We'll see what the officiating staff think. The play is reversed. So crisis averted for the Hellcats. And the Rollers slightly annoyed because that would mean both teams would have made a big error on kick return. Fops out of time, but he'll throw it to Robin Banks, and throwing out of the sack slightly under pressure means the ball is off its target. And that's going to be bobbled and incomplete. Seven seconds left. Fops looking to get more points on the board with a quick Hail Mary. Everyone running streaks. They'll throw it up to a double cover Jeremy B, who gets it. And the Hellcats use a timeout, so they'll get Ben Cowjet out to kick a field goal to go up 3. That was a great catch by Jeremy B, who was leading the receiving totals, but the Janitors nearly shut him out. and significantly impact his totals. And this is another Ben Caljet classic, and the Hellcats up 13-10 in what is going to be a really great game. Like, both teams have good offense, they're gaining first downs, and dare I say, way more enjoyable than the Janitors game, you know. What do you expect when two of the best defenses in the league go up one against another? Now, Ben Sports in his own end zone. He gets to the 20, but won't get much further than that before being tackled down by Bentley Roughhouse once again. The Hellcats won the opening coin flip, but they got the first offensive possession of the game after a Sid Manderjunk fumble. So the Hellcats looking to keep the pressure on. They went up 3. Nice tackle there by Cringe. They went up by 3 to end the half. And getting the ball back, they're looking to, keep the pressure on. I think I just said that. I don't know why I'm repeating myself here. Forgive me, I'm on 5 hours of sleep, and I woke up at 5 a.m. Alex Fops under center at the 27. They give it to Ace Ducey on the draw play. Well spotted by Reno Pearson, who tackles it down, but not before Ducey can fall forward for 2 yards. Because even when a normal person would get stopped for a loss, he finds a way to make a profit out of it. Now to bring up a third down for the Hellcats. Hellcats 3 for 5. Fops audibles Aiden Spears into a tight end position. Fops a lot of time in the pocket, and he'll throw it to a double-covered rookie Robin. And that will be knocked incomplete very easily by Carter Amen Break. Richard Stretchbull out for a second punt of the day after the Rollers with a successful third down stop. So it'll be Manderjunked just outside the 25, waving for the fair catch as he's about to be ran down by Frank Honke. First and 10. Booker Drayton Jr. hoping to continue his offensive onslaught. Khalid Swimlane's the tight end set in motion. Under a little bit of pressure, rolling out of the pocket, throwing into a corner route. Tried to get it to Khalid Swimlanes, but it's tipped away by Kyler Borscht. What's a kite flyer in the backfield? He'll run it up the B gap. He'll try to take advantage of a great pancake by Urin Mongo, but can't get quite much more than 4 yards on that one. So they'll bring up a third down for the Rollers, if I've been counting. Thank you. Rollers also 3 for 5 on third downs. Booker's going to stand in the shotgun next to his running back. This is a classic Rollers formation from Season 2. He'll try to throw it to Piloni directly on the line of scrimmage, but well spotted by Kevin Garbo, chomping down on his zone and knocked incomplete. The Rollers are going to stay down 3 points. Edward Phone go out to punt. Go kicking it to the left side of the field, and this will be out of bounds. This will be placed at around the 40. Ace Ducey in the back. Hellcats leading by 3 here in the third. Fops throws it up for rookie Robin, and it's an interception. Sid Manderjunked gets a turnover. More than making up so far for his mistake early in the game. A very rare mistake, mind you, but still a costly one. But it Rollers back out on the field at their 33. It's a play action trying to get it to August Half Price, but Jonathan Biggs Grande, defensive rookie of the season for Season 2, gets the defend That could have been scary. August Half-Price had no one in front of him. That was a one-on-one truly. Second down for the Rollers. Well, JBG is the Hellcats call him. Multi-kite flyer in as running back still. But it's going to be a pass play from Booker. And he's going to throw it to the wide open Miles Gundark. But he fumbles the ball. And it's returned by number 33 to the 25, dude. And Miles Gundark injured his elbow after the tackle. That is terrifyingly bad. Let's go back to the replay. So Miles Gundark wide open, and it's number 46. That's Ryan Tapp down the nickelback. Gets the forced fumble. Jack Batson picking up the loose ball. So hopefully we'll get an update on that. Ace Ducey up the middle of the field for 5, maybe 6 yards. Ace Ducey counter play, but number 92 is able to, Owen Cantwell able to shed his block and get the tackle. Great work. And the Rollers crowd really trying to call upon their defense here to make this goal, like this red zone stand. They forced the third down. It's a drop play to Ace Ducey, and he's stopped! Jacob Wayover, who's made a couple of great special teams plays so far today, finally makes an excellent defensive play. And he stops the Hellcats short of a first down, so they'll get Ben Cowjet out. For him is a chip shot. The kick is good. The Hellcats go up 6. But the Rollers can still regain the lead, or gain the lead for the first time. I should be specific. They're able to get a touchdown on this drive. Cowjet kicks it deep. Mander jumped at the goal line to receive it. I see a lot of pancaked Hellcats, but running in from offside is Kevin Garbo. And he'll tackle down Mander Junta at the 27. Rollers football. They're down by 6. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third quarter. A little bit of steam. Oh my god, that was such a great block there by Borscht. The Rollers lost a bit of steam so far in their offense in the second quarter. They were chugging along very nicely in the first half. Able to end an amazing job. Okay, Miles Gundark bruised his elbow pretty badly, but it is not a major injury. He will return. Great news for the Rollers. Draw play from the shotgun. Kite Flyer will get about 5 yards on the play. Fighting against, who is 33? Trevor Twirlywhirl. I might have called Twirlywhirl Jack Batson earlier. I apologize. Batson is 33 for the Rollers. I went cross-eyed at some point. 3rd and 4. I smell a play action from Booker. We'll see what they decide to do. Just a regular pass. And Hellcats send 4, and number 97, DeMarcus Bacon, gets on through for his first sack of the game. And the Rollers can't do anything. They'll have to punt it away. So the Hellcats really bearing down, suffocating the Rollers. Hellcats have done a really great job at dialing in and making sure that the Rollers don't continue to run over them. Another out-of-bounds punt for Edward Fongo, trying to avoid a return on the ball. And not bad. That one's to the 30. Two minutes, 4 seconds left in the third. Fops looking to maintain control of the game, but he's going to pass. And man, that was legal? Jeremy B was basically on the border of that. I'll be surprised if the Rollers don't try to challenge this. They won't. They'll let it go. Jeremy B was like on the side of the thing for the pass, but a great block stopper. And Ace Ducey up the left side gets about 8 yards, almost to the 50. Just over 4 yards to carry for Ace Ducey. Not exactly the 8.9, but again, after the performances he's had, you can only have regression to the mean, but still, if you're over 4 yards per carry, that is something to be very proud of, as it looks like Ducey will be continued to fed. Nope, it's a pass play, and they'll try to get it to, I think, was that DeMar Sage, 82? Wasn't in a position to catch the ball, but that's going to make up a third down. The Hellcats have not converted on a third down in quite some time. See if they can do it here. 3rd and 3 is definitely makeable. Fops will throw it over the middle, and Jeremy B is going to run directly into Emmett Bonkwright. And Bonkwright's not even going to attempt to throw away the ball because he is just in the way of it like a statue. But Richard Stretchful is going to have to punt the ball away again. The Rollers still maintaining the 1-score gap. Down 6. Waiting for the fair catch. Lots of backspin on that one. And Maurice Bateman downs the ball past the 20. Almost too much backspin, actually. That landed at the 10 and went careening backwards towards the 20. Where it now lies. 56 seconds left in the third. Booker stepping back to throw. Rolls out of the pocket, but unfortunately can't get anybody open. And Booker Trayton Jr. appears to have injured his chest on the play. So now we get to see Jeff Forshot out. Jeff Forshot led the Rollers to the Normal Bowl last season, and he's now the backup quarterback. Forshot in the pocket. He'll try to get it to Miles Gundark, but pass interference on Honky will get him the catch. Miles Gundark returning to play after bruising his elbow up badly. He's probably got coverings on it now, but he's okay to play. They'll probably want to avoid any of those possession catches where you have to roll on it. Kite Flyer in as running back. He'll receive the ball, but Scott Colonel Pop has a free run at him. Gonna stop the run to about 2 or 3 yards. And that's gonna end the third quarter. So the Rollers and the Hellcats going scoreless, to my knowledge, in the third, if I've been paying any attention. Booker Trayton Jr. abdominal strain out for the game, man. Ugh. The Rollers get their first injury of the season, and it's Booker. And oh my god, Piloni went flying on that tackle, but he held on to the ball at the 45. Let's watch that hit again. Look at this Kevin Garbo type beat. Boom! Looks like he hit him with a wrestling move, but Piloni with hands of steel maintaining possession of that football. Hand off to Kite Flyer up the middle. He'll get 6 yards running through Scott Colonel Pop. Second and 5. Walter Kite Flyer gets it to the 40. It looks like the running game is back for the Rollers as they make it to enemy territory. And Slick Quiglet, if it wasn't for his bad agility, could have stayed in front of the blocker. Well, people with good stats are really, really expensive in this league, and you gotta go with what you got. 3 wide receiver I formation. Jeff Forshot handing it off to Kite Flyer. Picks up an amazing block. And Toby Wrightson has to tackle the runner from behind after a 7-yard gain. And Kite Flyer is flying his kite. The Rollers entering Kyle Borger field goal territory, but they need a touchdown to regain the lead, and under pressure, Forshot has to throw it away. Rollers at the Hellcats 35. If you're just joining us, it's been a good back and forth game between the Hellcats and the Rollers. Forshot stands in the shotgun here for this 3rd and 5 try. Throws to the flat, and that is windmilled away by Scott Colonelpop. The big stories, the Rollers hit with 2 injuries. Miles Gundark had a minor elbow injury. He got bruised up but is back to playing again. But Booker Trayton Jr. severely injured his chest, and he's out for the game. He's replaced by backup quarterback Jeff Forshot as Kyle Borger shanks a kick. And the Hellcats will keep their 6-point lead. A rare miss there from Kyle Borger. Although I think he's missed more field goals in Season 3 than he ever did in Season 2. So far anyways, so bit of a disappointing season for Kyle Borger. Oh my god, hello there, Landon Chuff Puff, Mr. Blitz. Oh my god, here he comes. An interception immediately afterwards at the Rollers at 45. That was Carter, a men break cutting in front of Ahmad Cardsgrave. And that is the second court-mandated interception thrown by Alex Fops this game. Fops will throw 2 interceptions a game, but people will still find a way to call him a great quarterback. Go figure. Garrett Rinser takes the draw play, but he's immediately manhandled down by Colonel Pop. And again, on the line for the Rollers. The Rollers are 0-3 on the season, and they need this divisional win so badly. Whereas the Hellcats just saw the Gators lose to the Janitors earlier today. A great... Oh, incomplete for half price. Knocked out of his hands by the hard tackle, but the Hellcats looking to capitalize on the Gators' loss earlier tonight against the Janitors. If they win here, they will move up to first in the division. A 4-shot, 3rd and 9 try now. Khalid Swimlane's on the move from the 46-yard line, and number 91, that is Ty Spears. A name I haven't said too much for the Hellcats. Their defensive tackle number 2 gets to the quarterback and swings him to the ground. And that'll bring out the punting squad here on 4th and 9. And the Rollers stay down 6 points. This second half being scoreless for both teams. And Fongo punts it into the end zone for a touchback. First and 10. There's only 5 minutes remaining in this game. Fops and Ace Ducey looking to put this one away and grind up time. Let's see how the Rollers can stop the running onslaught of the best. Oh, he goes to pass. He throws it deep. Ahmad Cardsgrave is wide open on the corner route. He spins up the 50, shaking a tackle, but from behind he's tackled by Bud Beaglesworth as he high-fives tight end Jason Grunge, or Cardsgrave high-fives the tight end. But a great leaping catch over the coverage of Jacob Wayover gets the pass completed. And the Hellcats are into Rollers territory, just barely at the 49-yard line. Grunge on the move. Bob stepping back in trouble, and he has to throw it away early. Second down for the Hellcats, standard formation. Stepping back to throw. Fops gets it deep to Jeremy B, and it's tipped away by Jordan Slinerty. Jeremy B desperate for any receiving yards. He has basically fallen off a cliff both this game and last week's game against the Janitors. Ace Ducey off tackle, picks up a great pancake from Will Brickmortar. And that's the Ace Ducey way. Unfortunately, unable to get the first down. I didn't even realize that was a third down. Richard Stretchbull out to punt from enemy territory. This one out the back of the end zone for a touchback. So again, scoreless second half after a first half full of pretty electric offense. At least offense I like to see. Great running play. Great passing plays. Chunk yardage, but it's all been crickets here in the second half. Only 3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the game. The Rollers need a score. They threw an interception to Kevin Garbo, his second of the game. His first of the game as he protects against Pyloni. And now the Hellcats are in position to possibly put this one away. Roy Burley in as running back. Jason Grunge on the move. They hand off to Burley up the middle. He'll try to find a seam, but he's stopped by number 56, Bud Beaslesworth. If the Rollers do not pick up a win here today, I figure there's going to be panic in the Rollers organization. We might see a big restructuring of their roster and perhaps maybe a couple of free agency moves before the deadline comes up in 2 weeks. Roy Burley gets a great seam up the A-gap. Rollers desperate to cheer on their defense, make a goal line stand. However, a field goal here will result in them going 2 scores down, which makes their comeback opportunity that much worse. The chances of a comeback that much more slim. Aiden Spears, common W, gets it past the 10 for a first down. That'll bring up the 2-minute warning. A fresh set of down for the Hellcats. They're inside the 10-yard line of the Rollers. And they are up 6 points, 16-10. This is the Hellcats' first divisional game, and they'd love to go 1-0. Ducey getting stopped for a loss back behind the 10-yard line. Cringe, offering some much-needed distance as the Rollers use their first timeout. Pop stepping back to throw. Tries to get it to the end zone. It's a touchdown. That was caught out of bounds. What are you talking about, game? Robin Banks was in the corner. That right foot's out of bounds there, friends. This is going to get reviewed because it is the 2-minute warning. All of these scoring plays are reviewed. Please tell me the scoring plays are reviewed. You've got it. Thank you. I'm begging you. This one's out of bounds there, old Flopsy boy. That is a right foot nowhere near the inside of the end zone. And yeah, I assume the referee is telling everybody that, yep, the play is definitely reversed. So it'll bring up a third down for Alex Fops, who have not converted a third down once this second half. If that's not correct, it definitely feels correct. Ace Ducey up the middle. He finds a good seam to the 6. Rollers using their second of 3 timeouts. Ace Ducey only averaging 3.8 there, it said. But this will put the Rollers in a bad position. Ben Cowjet, a chip shot to put them down 2 scores. And the kick is... Oh, it almost went over the catch net. That would have been a great memento for one of the Rollers fans, but knowing the fan base here, they probably would have thrown that shit right back at him. Minute and 47 seconds left for the Rollers to get 2 scores. They are down 9 points, 19-10. They need a field goal and they need a touchdown. That offers them a little bit of flexibility, what they can go for. But with not many timeouts, they only have 1 timeout. They will have to rely on an onside kick at this point. Unless some sort of miracle happens. Shot. Back to throw. In trouble. Gets it to the open Khalid swim lanes. That might be for a first down. No, it's going to be inches away. They'll be at the 30-yard line. No huddle offense. Jeff Forshot's running out of time. We might see him use ball spikes here. Khalid swim lanes on the move. Hellcats flipping the coverage. Swim lanes. Tries to get the ball, but it bounces off the safety's helmet. Shot only 2 for 8 so far this game. 1:23 remaining. Rollers. Lots of time. They're going to throw it to Kite Flyer, who will step out of bounds to stop the clock for a first down. Kite Flyer with a block and release. He saw no one blitzing and was like, I'm going to run a route. Whatever, man. First down Rollers at the 41. Shot with split backs. We'll get it to Miles Gundark past the 50. We might see Shot spike the ball here. 1:08 seconds and counting. No, he will not spike the ball. He'll pump fake, and he's brought down by Dante Landros. Shot in the shotgun beside Kite Flyer. And he can't get anybody up. He's been brought down to the 40-yard line. This is a large third down. 3rd and 21. Shot's gonna have to Hail Mary it here. But the Hellcats keep blitzing their goddamn mind. Gundark. We'll see where they put it. I don't know if that was a reception or not. The booth is reviewing whether or not it was inbounds. This will be huge for the Rulers. You know, since Gundark is already huge as it is. Oh, I don't know about that right foot, folks. This isn't panned down enough for us to... That's out of bounds, I'm afraid. And with that, the Hellcats, or the Rulers will go for it on 4th down, doubtless, but... This is looking like the Hellcats tying this game up with a neat little bow. They'll go 3-1, and they will stand on top of the over here division. Although 36 seconds left, let's not stay any certainties yet. You're down 2 scores. You need to pick up a onside kick, and there's 30 seconds left. It's looking really dire, and that's tipped away. Turnover on downs. Hellcats win their first divisional matchup game. Kevin Garbo is getting handed the game's MVP with 1 interception. As Fops takes a knee. The Rollers use a BM timeout to make my job here a little bit longer. But man, Alex Fops will find a way to throw 2 interceptions. Again, the joke is quickly becoming it's contractually obligated for him to throw 2 interceptions a game. But when you've got such great offensive blocking for someone as talented as Ace Ducey and Aiden Spears also running that big wheel route earlier in the game. And Jeremy B and Robin Banks being dependable receivers for Alex Fops to throw to. You've got a hell of a team here in Michigan. And what's most important is that the Hellcats have dodged the injury bug thus far. No knocking on wood, because jinxes are not a thing and aren't real. Whereas the Rollers suffered 2 injuries this game. And they might lose Booker Trayton Jr. for at least a couple of games. And there we go. We end the night. The Hellcats 3-1, and the Rollers are in bad shape. 0-4. And they'll have to reevaluate what is going on there if they need to turn their season around with only 6 games remaining in the 10-week regular season. Yeah, Booker threw 107.4 before he was out. And, yeah, 4-shot didn't do... Fops is 31.7, dude. I need to stop saying Alex Fops is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Like, 33% completion and 2 interceptions thrown. Who the hell is going to believe me whenever I say that? Like, come on, dude. Ace Ducey only getting 61 yards. Boo-hoo for him. But Kite Flyer is the big story here. The Rollers running offense looking the best it's been all season long, but unfortunately wasn't able to get anything going in that second half. Nobody was able to get anything going that second half. It was